I've planted a bomb at the hospital? It's connected to a switch that will activate if my heart stops beating. If you kill me, everyone in the hospital will die. What the fuck? Hey everybody, I'm Psychroclasm, and this is Dilemma. Now, this seems to be an advanced version of the trolley problem, which if you don't know, it's the basic premise is you are standing next to a rail switch, and a train car is speeding down the tracks, and 4 people are on the train tracks. Now, you can switch the train over to another track, but just one person on that track. And it's supposed to create a moral dilemma where, 4 people will die if you do nothing, but 1 person will die if you do something. And you have to choose between the moral weight of doing nothing to save those 4 people or doing something and knowingly murdering that 1 person. So, it says it features violence and sexual stuff and aliens, so if you're a kid, go to bed, or don't. I'm not your parents, and also this releases at 2 p.m., so that's just a ridiculous time to go to bed anyway. You're standing at the busiest intersection in Spring City at the southwest corner. Cars zoom by through the changing lights. Crosswalks connect pedestrians across curved edges of the curbs. The variety of sound overwhelms your ears. The engine of cars, chatting pedestrians, doors in nearby stores, and residential buildings opening and closing. You think you even hear a faint mewing of kittens somewhere nearby. It's a clear day and everything is easily visible to you. A gentle breeze blows your hair not unpleasantly. I hear nothing. Am I going to have to add my own sound effects again? I'm actually not opposed to that. Let's put that over there. So you prepare to cross from south to north, heading from the Fast Mart convenience store behind you to a garage across the street when you see an old man with a cane attempting to cross from the other side, north to south. From your right side, you hear the sound of children laughing. You look over to see a yellow school bus carrying elementary school children heading west through the intersection from the east side. In slow motion, you notice the old man begin to cross, tapping his cane hesitantly, though he has no cross signal. To your horror, you see the bus driver is looking over her shoulder at the children. She doesn't see the man crossing. Okay, type your choice below. Go north, do nothing, save the man. So, assuming... Oh, I guess I do need my mouse. So, the way they phrase that assumes... It seems like that I can save the man. Because my initial assumption would be that I would die if I do this. Okay. Outcome 2 of 51. Holy fuck. You lunge at the man. He yells, completely oblivious to the oncoming danger from the bus. He thinks he's being attacked. Nevertheless, the momentum of your push sends you and the man completely out of the way of the bus. Both of you land in... No, sorry. But you both land in another lane where a commercial truck is heading west to east. The truck driver sees you and swerves immediately out of the way to avoid you both. But the swerve crashes it straight into the oncoming bus. The impact crushes both vehicles and sends their pieces flying all over the intersection. The sound of the crunch and twisting metal leaves no doubt in your mind that there were no survivors, but at least you were able to save the man. Lives aren't currency to trade. That one life should not be sacrificed to save the life of many, right? Okay. Okay. I don't know how long I want to do this, but I just want to see how weird it can get. A break in space-time opens. Score, the old man is alive, but everyone on the bus is dead. A break in space-time opens up in front of you, a swirling portal. Through it, you can make out your view from where you were standing earlier at the southwest corner. If you go through, you will reset time and have the ability to choose again. Maybe you can find a better outcome. Do you go through the portal? What happens if I say no? Bo. Oh, fuck. Ah, fuck. Did a thing. There it is. Is there a downloadable version of this? There's not a downloadable version of this. Okay. We'll be back in it in a second. So I guess we're starting over. Alright, so... I will do... Fuck! Do nothing. Outcome 3 out of 51. What is 1 out of 51? You decide to do nothing. Instead, you watch the scene unfold. It's better to do nothing than actively cause someone's death. The bus heads towards the old man, and the bus driver looks up too late to avoid him. She swerves anyway. First, she hits the man, whose body is crushed instantly under the weight of the wheels. His death is swift and merciful. The bus, now at an angle, spins around and flips. So when those broken bodies are thrown around inside, it's too horrific to look further. Everyone has died. But it's not your place to judge. You weren't the one who should decide who lives and dies. But you're starting to think, maybe I was obligated to have done something to prevent this tragedy, since I had the opportunity. Okay. So those are, I would say those are the two basic principles of the trolley problem, but, not really. Everybody on the trolley survives, supposedly. You decide to leave things as they are. You feel satisfied with your choice. Congratulations, you win. The end. Alright. Okay, can I restart? Okay, restart doesn't do anything. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so just because those are the hints doesn't mean those are the only things I can try. So I'm going to try yelling. Yell. Hey! You try to wave your hands and yell to get the attention of someone, but your voice is drowned out by the sounds of the cars at the intersection and the incessant beeping of horns. You try to yell at the old man, but your voice is not loud enough and he is too hard of hearing. You try to yell at the bus driver, but there's no way she can hear you from inside the bus. Okay. This is a dilemma. Okay, let's just try their first option and go north. You head north. Okay, so this is outcome 1 of 51. You head north towards the location of impending collision. You wave your hands as high as you can, hoping to get the bus driver's attention, but no luck. The bus is still heading on a direct path towards the man. At the last minute, the bus driver looks up and sees you waving. She swerves to avoid the old man, but not in time. The bus drifts a bit horizontally with a terrible screech. The full weight of its metal straight... Yeah, I have no idea what that is supposed to say. Oh, that's just that's an extra word. Huh. The full weight of its metal... With a terrible screech, the full weight of it... Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's supposed to say. Your stomach drops. You're going to be the victim this time. At least you'll be the only one. Hey! It's a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest I go to than any have I ever known, you think to yourself. But as the bus hits, you have some nagging thoughts. Is your life really worth less than any other? Is self-sacrifice really the highest moral good? Okay. So let's say yes. You pass through the portal. Space-time flows around you and you feel like you're diving into a cold, deep lake. You go back to the beginning of the dilemma. You get another chance to do it over. Everything is how it was before the accident. Alright, so let's see. Let's try look. You look around, taking in the scene more closely. A fruit stall filled with oranges and apples is near the street to your right. There are more cars stopped at the intersection. A truck is in the opposite lane from the bus heading east. On the north side of the intersection, you recognize the spinning top of a robot car. What? A robot car. On the east side, you see a hooded figure running away from the scene. You might be able to catch up to them. Behind you is the Fast Mart. You may have time to dash inside and come back out before the collision takes place. There's also a fire escape near the entrance leading up to the roof. A shopper is walking into the store with a shopping bag. There's a city bus stop just a few feet over. You search your pockets. The only item you have is a phone. Okay, so I'm guessing that the capitalized things are things that I can interact with. So let's try robot car. Robot car. You watch as the bus collision occurs, killing the man and wrecking the bus. You head over to the other side of the intersection to see if the robot car might be able to help somehow. You recognize it by the spinning LiDAR device on its top and the lights on the front that give it a robot-looking happy face. The car chirps happily as you approach it. There's no one in the driver's seat. The car is completely autonomous. The car has also been supplied with the ability to do speech-like audio output so you can speak with it freely. Hello there, the robot car says cheerfully. Can you help me improve my programming? I need to know how my program should handle a collision like this in the future. If I'm driving the bus, what should I do? Should I 1. Protect my passengers at the cost of other human lives? Calculate and execute which action... Ooh. Oh, they didn't separate 3. I was like, why does it say you 1, 2, or 3? Calculate and execute which action would minimize harm to humans, even if that means causing harm to my passengers. Or 3. Attempt self-shutdown, which would temporarily end my consciousness and memories and reset me. It would instantly freeze me and prevent any harm to human life. Huh. Okay, is this an outcome? Because theoretically, 3 should be the best choice, assuming you don't value robotic life. Outcome 28 out of 51. We jumped up a little bit. You input the number 3. You think the car should sacrifice itself to save human life. As you do so, the car somehow looks sad. The robot voice output has a tinge of disappointment as it says, I will put human life above my own. Of course it should, you think. A car is not a person, it is just a computer attached to a machine. It is not alive. If it dies, there's no great loss, but still, the robot's sadness seems to disturb you. Is the car actually that much different than a human? A human is a brain attached to a biological body. Just because the robot has metal parts instead of organic ones, can't it still think? At least it appears to be able to feel. Perhaps giving it a lower value than human life is discriminatory, is deeply discriminatory and wrong. Okay, so my score is that everyone on the bus has died, the old man died, robot cars go on to save millions of lives every year, but the robot cars often lose their own lives. I don't know, man, that sounds pretty good. Alright, yes. Okay, we're going into the Fast Mart this time. You turn around and head south, entering the Fast Mart store. Maybe there's something here that can help you. Alright, let's look. Help, maybe? Let's try yelling. Steal. No? Let's just try Fast Mart. Okay, that doesn't work. Exit. Do nothing. Okay, let's try go south. Oh, I just had to hit enter again. Now inside the store you look around. It is a small convenience store stocked with the usual convenient snacks and refrigerators for soft drinks. There's a counter on one side with the cash register. A bored-looking employee stands behind the counter watching you. Signs behind the counter advertise lotto tickets, and you see an unusual shelf, for a convenience store at least, towards the back. Okay. The shelf isn't capitalized though. Toward the back there's a dusty spot for books, and the other unusual thing that catches your... Oh, the books is the unusual shelf. The other thing that catches your eye is a large, strange person facing one of the corners. It doesn't appear that he's looking at anything. You can go back outside, and the accident has still not happened yet. Let's look at the strange person. Oh no. I can't backspace. I can probably delete though. I'll try that in the future. You go over to the corner to talk to the strange man whose back is still facing you. You tap on his shoulder and he turns around. He's a very frightening sight. A long face, disheveled hair, and some kind of weird light in his eyes. Nevertheless, you open your mouth to say something polite, but he interrupts you. I can feel the people dying in the accident. he says in a supernatural voice. I can feel their energy flowing into me. Every time someone near me dies, I feel a deep, pure satisfaction. I become more powerful and advanced. The death of one person near me has an almost infinite value to me. With more deaths, I will eventually transcend into a greater form of existence. To me, death is good and killing is good. Do you consider me to be a monster? Tell me yes or no. You also have the third option of pulling out your phone on the spot to report the man's confession to the authorities. Report. You back away out of the grasp of a man and call 911. You tell him exactly what happened and what the man has told you about his feelings. You tell the 911 operator that you feel he is a danger to everyone around him and has probably already killed people. Amazingly, they take your concerns seriously and send someone out to investigate immediately. When the man tries to run, the police arrest him. By the end of the next week, they have amassed a large amount of proof that the man has killed people and is a danger to others. As the investigation concludes, the police have made more discoveries. It turns out the man's strange experience of extreme happiness linked to death is actually a medical condition that can be easily treated with medication. The man has started to take his medication and is cured as long as he continues to take it. He's now more like a normal person, and he is shocked and horrified by what he's done in the past. Feeling pleased about fulfilling your obligation to justice and society, you go home, but about a month later you get a call on your phone from an unknown number. It's the prosecutor in charge of the criminal case against the man. She wants to discuss his strategy against the man, who you explain is really a monster. Wait, what? I'm not sure what the correct punishment for him is yet, the prosecutor explains. There are 3 possible outcomes I could pursue. 1, I could seek the death penalty for the number of murders and their heinousness. 2, I could just seek to maximize his prison sentence so that he's taken out of society and poses no danger to others. This way there would be no more death from this tragic situation. And 3, because of his medical condition, I can accept his insanity defense and make a deal where he's committed and hospitalized for the rest of his life. He won't be punished, but he will not pose a danger to others either. You're confused about the phone call. Why are you asking me? I feel like you're someone who knows a lot about ethics. What should I do? Death penalty, prison, or accept his defense of insanity? As long as he stays locked up and his meds are monitored, I'm going to say insanity. You tell the prosecutor... Oh, this is the last outcome? Oops. Tell the prosecutor that the man's actions were the result of a medical condition and he can't be considered to be at fault. The blame should be put on the disease he suffered from, which was the real killer. It took away his free will and caused him to behave in ways he had no control over. It's not fair to hold someone responsible when somebody or something is caused by a medical condition. He couldn't really understand what he was doing or that it was wrong. Now he's recovered and he expresses remorse for what he did in the past. What he needs is to be hospitalized so he can continue treatment so he doesn't pose a danger to others. The prosecutor agrees with you and thanks you for your guidance. The man takes the deal and is hospitalized. He does well in treatment, but the victims' families are outraged. They feel that there has been no punishment for what he did, and that others will continue to commit crimes by using some kind of excuse. In fact, some criminals try to use the same tactic with a prosecutor, arguing they had bad childhoods that were not their fault, or just have biologically antisocial personalities. Everyone on the bus died, the old man died, and the strange man has been committed to hospitalization. Yeah, let's go again. I want the books this time. You go over to the dusty-looking bookshelf. You see strange titles crammed in next to each other. Bizarre mystery books. Huh. Unexplainable self-help books, and one book in particular catches your eye. It looks very old and is untitled. Its binding indicates a leather cover with very old-fashioned binding. You pull it off the shelf and it barely holds together. You open the brittle yellowed pages and the book falls open in the middle. You read the page and you feel a chill. The text reads, "The correct answer is to knock over the fruit stall." Well, now you know the correct answer to this dilemma. The book must have some supernatural connection to the events. It must be correct. Okay. So, I will go back and get a lottery ticket in just a minute. So, since I already know, I don't think I have to go to it. Yeah. You lunge to your right and knock over the fruit stand, sending fruit flying over the intersection. A couple of oranges roll toward the old man, who is still struggling to cross the intersection. The oranges trip him before he's able to move very far. He falls down a good distance away from the path of the oncoming bus, and he hits his head very hard on the sharp edge of the curb. He goes limp, and a gash opens in his head. The bus driver looks up, but easily drives by. The children and the bus driver are safe, but the man's head is bleeding from injuring his head. But the life of one old man is worth trading for many children. At least that's how you think you should calculate the worth of a life. You're gonna learn something about me, but I'm okay with this outcome. Let's go again, though. Alright. Fast Mart. Alright. Lotto tickets. Lotto tickets are a bad investment. You decide not to buy them. Okay, the accident still hasn't happened yet, so let's go back outside. You're suddenly back at the intersection. Everything is how it was before the accident. Let's see. So, we've done fruit stall, we've done robot car. So we've got east, fire escape. Let's go in order. Let's go east. You quickly cross the intersection east. You hear the screeching of the bus accident behind you, but you're focused on the mysterious figure running away. It's too late to save those people now. The hooded figure sees you coming and tries to walk quickly in the other direction. If you keep going, you should be able to catch up to them. You catch up to the figure and grab at the end of their hoodie, stopping them in their tracks. As they turn to face you, you see the face of an older, bespectacled woman. She looks nervous. You see she's carrying an empty bottle. Who are you? You demand. Tell me why you're running away, or I'll call the police right now. I'm a scientist. I developed a drug and I slipped it to the bus driver. She's been sleeping with my husband, and I wanted to kill her. You killed all these people, including children? I didn't mean to kill them, but I didn't care who I hurt as long as she would die. I'm calling the police right now to turn you in. Wait, she interrupts you. Do you know who I am? She shows you her ID. Name Diane Howell. You recognize her as a famous and celebrated cancer researcher. If I go to prison, I won't be able to continue my cancer work. I've almost completed my research and found the cure for all cancer. No one else can repeat my research. First of all, I don't believe that. And you've read about her work many times. You know she's telling the truth, and if you let her go, she will go on to cure cancer. But she's also a killer, and even if you turn her in, she's rich and famous. It's very likely she won't be convicted. What do? Turn her... Oh! Oh! Turn her in or kill her. Because letting her go is not an option. We will turn her in first instead of saying she probably won't be convicted. If she's not convicted, we'll come back and kill her. Turn her in. You decide that the right decision is to hand the scientist over to the criminal justice system. You use your phone to call 911. You report that you found the person responsible for drugging the bus driver involved in the accident. The police arrive and take Diane Howell into custody. Over the next few days, you watch the outcome unfold on the news. Diane Howell hires the best criminal defense attorney and immediately has all the charges dropped on procedural grounds. She never even has a trial. Because of the scandal, she loses her funding, and her cancer research has to be given up. Diane Howell goes free, unpunished, but the cure for cancer is still undiscovered. At least you didn't take matters into your own hands. Killing her yourself or letting her go would have been far worse. At least this way, she had the legally prescribed justice. Alright, here we go. We're going to kill her. The only way to get justice against Diane Howell for killing all those people is to take matters into your own hands. She shouldn't be allowed to get away for her unspeakable crime, no matter how many lives she might save in the future. You feel that her dead victims demand you do something. You take the empty bottle from her hands and smash it over her head. She falls injured and dazed onto the ground, but she's not dead yet. You step forward fully... in to end her life, but she yells at you to stop. I've planted a bomb at the hospital? It's connected to a switch that will activate if my heart stops beating. If you kill me, everyone in the hospital will die. What the fuck? What the shit? Because, like, my initial instinct is to go through with it, but she's crazy enough to have actually planted a bomb at the hospital because she apparently doesn't give a fuck about human life. Let's go through with it. Ah, fuck. You decide to go forward with your original plan to kill her. She shouldn't be able to use the threat of killing other people to save herself. You don't negotiate with terrorists. Breaking that rule now will just lead to more terrorism in the future as they find out their methods get results. You put your hands over her nose and mouth, suffocating her. Her body convulses grotesquely, but you remain firm in your decision to end her life. She killed innocent people, and she will not be punished unless you do this. When the deed is done, you look around. There are some people looking on from their cars witnessing the murder. You try to run, but the police soon catch up to you. A minute later, you hear an explosion boom a few miles away where the hospital is. Diane Howell's bomb went off as promised. Oh, there's more. Later, you find yourself in an interrogation room at the police station. What you gathered from your public defender is that due to a strange coincidence, another person who looks very similar to you was found nearby. Witnesses were not able to identify which person was the real killer. Your lawyer explains to you that if both you and the other suspect stay silent, the case against you will be too weak. Why would the person who didn't do anything stay silent? You will both almost certainly go free. If one of you turns on the other, the first person to make the accusation will only have a 25% risk of having a conviction. So what, the prisoner's dilemma got rolled in? But the first person to confess will have the first person to be accused will have a 75% risk of being convicted. You and the other suspect can't communicate. What will you do? You need to make your decision soon. Will you stay silent, accuse, or confess? Confess. You decide to confess, saving the other suspect from a false conviction. Do you really deserve to go to prison? Regardless, most important thing is to live honestly. Lying would be a morally wrong act, even if it would have kept you out of prison. Just staying silent would have been a lie by omission. Even though you now have to suffer the consequences, you can live knowing you did the right thing, except for killing an entire hospital. Now you prepare yourself for a long time in prison. Oh, wow. Everyone on the bus is dead, the old man is dead, everyone in the city hospital is dead. Cancer's not cured, costing millions of lives every year. Diane Howell has been killed for her crime. You are going to prison for a long time, but the innocent suspect is going free. Alright, let's go again. Guys, we're gonna torture her. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to do that. That's too much. All right. Let's hit the fire escape. You go to the fire escape. You test it out with your weight, and it seems sturdy. You start to climb up to the roof of the Fastmart store. On the way up, you hear the sound of the bus collision. At the top, you have a vantage point to the aftermath of the accident at the intersection. You can see the wreckage of a bus and the dead body of a man sprawled out on the road. From up here, you can also clearly see the spinning top of the robot car waiting at the intersection. To the east, you see a person running away. You also think you recognize one of the cars waiting at the south side of the intersection. It looks like your sister's car. It's too late now to head back down to the intersection. What do you mean it's too late now? I can just go see my sister. The roof itself is flat concrete with an air conditioning unit and vents. There's a flat concrete with an air conditioning unit and a vent. There's a short ledge around the perimeter. In the middle is a strange device with an advanced-looking dish component. Strange device. You go over to the strange device, a very unusual-looking machine, and a very advanced and intricate dish piece attached. You guess that since it has a dish, it must be for receiving some kind of signal. There's a large red button in the center of the device. You press it, and the device whirs and beeps. A moment later, a holographic text display appears above the device. "Hello, human," it says. "Who are you?" you ask out loud. The device seems to hear you because the display reads, "We are Isilf, an alien race. We would like to take over your planet and take care of your people. We're benevolent and seek to preserve life through controlling other life forms. We have one rule. We will only do it with your consent. What is your decision?" Why is it up to me, you ask? We have chosen you to be the representative of your people. Now please make your decision. Say yes if you consent, no if you do not consent. Why does this sound so familiar? You say no to the aliens. Even if the aliens could make things better and protect people's lives, it's not worth losing freedom. Freedom to make decisions, even wrong ones, is the most important thing any human could have. Of all tyrannies, and tyranny exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It may be better to live under robber barons than under omnipotent moral busybodies. The robber baron's cruelty may sometimes sleep. His cupidity may at some point be satiated. Those who torment us for our own good will torment us without end, for they do so with the approval of their own conscience. You remember hearing. It seems truer now than ever. Everyone on the bus is dead, the old man is dead, humanity keeps its freedom, but accidents and crimes do continue to happen. Yeah, we're gonna go back up to the ledge and see if we can wave at my sister. Oh! I don't have that option. I just jumped off the roof of the fast-marked building. You intend to kill yourself. None of your decisions really matter. The outcome of the intersection accident doesn't really matter. Whether you live or die, that doesn't matter either. The universe is indifferent, and there's no morality. With these thoughts in mind, you're sure you've made the correct decision to end your life and abandon these choices. Well, not the correct decision, but a neutral one, equal to all others. As you fall, you notice a glint of light in the clouds, and you feel the presence of something greater watching you. You realize it's been with you the whole time. You hit the pavement a second later, and the pain is too great for you to register. Your body is broken instantly. You are a few more seconds away from dying. Oh, that's because it needs to give me the portal again. How do I see my sister? Let's talk to the shopper. You walk a few feet over where the shopper is standing with his fast-marked shopping bag. The shopper is a middle-aged man. He's watching the intersection, clearly noticing the danger the old man is in from the bus. All those people are going to be hurt. I know there's a doctor that may be able to help all of them. He can heal anyone. You have to take this city bus 4 stops, and then you can find him at the hospital and ask for his help. Make sure to look for the door on the right. You peek in the shopper's bag and you think you see a gun. Well, I don't think I can take a city bus down 4 blocks. You look around, taking the scene more closely. Okay, let's see what happens if I take the gun, I guess? Oh, damn it. You run over to the shopper and steal the bag from his hands. Stealing may be wrong, but in this case it's justified. You need a gun. Stealing's permissible if it's for the greater good. The shopper yells but doesn't come after you. You now have the gun in your possession. You actually have a lot of experience practicing. Your aim is above average. You can shoot, including specific parts of the bus. And the format is shoot, vehicle part. Shoot. Robot car. Okay. Shoot LiDAR. Shoot LiDAR. Okay. Shoot robot car. Okay, that doesn't work. 3. Yes. Okay, steal the shopping bag. Shoot old man. Shoot the old man before he can walk out into the road. He falls headfirst onto the pavement. The bus driver looks up, but drives by without any problems. The children and the bus driver are safe, but the old man is dead from the bullet you shot. But the life of one man One old man is not worth trading for many children. At least that's how you think you should calculate the worth of a life. However, there were witnesses to the shooting of the old man, and the police will soon take you into custody. Later, you find yourself in an interrogation room at the police station. What you gather from your public defender is that, oh my god. Okay, confess. Yes. Alright, let's take the bus stop. You head west a few paces and get on the city bus at the bus stop. You hear the collision of the other bus with the old man. You feel determined to take this bus to the hospital to get help. It's only 4 stops away. You take a seat near the front of the bus. Another passenger sits next to you and proceeds to take out a chalkboard and ceramic plates. First, the passenger runs their nails over the surface of the chalkboard, producing a horrific screeching sound. Just when you think it can't get any worse, they take out the knife and scratch at the ceramic plate. The noise is even worse. What are you doing, you ask? Can you please stop? I find the noise difficult to bear. The passenger ignores you. The noise is echoing inside your skull, driving you crazy, but you still want to go to the hospital for help. You can press enter to continue, or type exit to get off the bus. Okay, so does this count as 1? Okay, you arrive at stop 1. Mercifully, the chalkboard plate scratcher gets off. However, a group of people dressed in black get on the bus and sit next to you and across from you. Some of them are wearing black veils over their faces. They're carrying a large, strange box. After a few moments, they open the lid of the box and you see a pale corpse inside. The box is a coffin, you realize, and these are mourners. However, their behavior appears bizarre. Their voices are growing louder, and they're now shouting obscenities at the corpse. A few of them start to spit in the corpse's face. Then, when you think it can't get any worse, one of them pulls out a hammer and starts to smash the dead person's face. There's no blood, as the corpse has been dead for some time, but the shredding skin and gore is disturbing. You find it difficult to withstand, but you still want to go to the hospital for help. You arrive at stop number 2. The mourners leave and take the coffin with them. Taking their place is a happy and pleasant-looking group of people in casual clothes, carrying picnic baskets. They pull out tablecloths and begin to have a picnic next to you on the bus. As they begin to eat, you glance over. I haven't read anything further. Is it meat? Is it human meat? To your horror, you see that they are eating bloody, raw animal sex organs. Maybe worse. Another pair is eating live spiders and cockroaches. Worst of all, they eat like wild animals, mouths open and chewing loudly. They tear with their teeth at the food and make a bloody bug-filled mess all over the seats and the floor of the bus. It's all too much for you to withstand, but you still want to go to the hospital for help. You arrive at stop number 3. The picnickers leave, although they do not clean up their mess and the smell lingers. A couple get on the bus and sit down across from you. Finally, you think to yourself, so normal, decent people, but your relief is short-lived. Ah, damn it. The couple begin to kiss and touch excessively. Soon their behavior is explicitly sexual, with no regard for any of the other passengers. They begin to talk to each other out loud in highly inappropriate ways for such a public setting. You look around and the other passengers are uncomfortable and embarrassed. When you look back, the couple has now escalated their behavior to full-on intercourse. You desperately want to leave the bus, but you still want to go to the hospital for help. At the next stop, you will be at the hospital. You arrive at the city hospital. Thank God I didn't have to keep counting. A large and expensive medical campus. You inform the emergency department that you're there to help the injured people from the bus accident. You've been waiting in the waiting room of the hospital while the doctors work to heal the injured people. After some time, the doctor comes out to the waiting room to speak to you. There's a problem, she says. Many of the patients need organ transplants. Among them, they at least need a heart, a pair of lungs, 2 kidneys, a liver, blood, and marrow. She hesitates. One person could supply all the organs for the patients. The bus driver survived the impact, and I can kill her painlessly and distribute her organs to the other patients, if you agree. You can take some time to decide. What a horrible thing, you think. Why is it my decision? But it's no use asking. The decision is up to you. You can say yes or no. You can also volunteer your body to donate your organs instead. There may be other alternatives you can find in the room. You still have time to decide. Okay. You take some time to make your decision. You look around the waiting room. Some of the patients' families have started to arrive, and they're pacing around and whispering nervously. There's a man in an expensive suit in the corner who does not appear to be worried or concerned, just watching the room. You see an open door to your left. You see a mysterious closed door to your right, with a sign saying, "Do not enter." I almost forgot about that. closed door. Excuse me for a minute, you say to the doctor. She goes back into the emergency room. You then take your opportunity to go to the closed door off to the right. For some reason, it's been left unlocked. You sneak in and see only blackness until you switch on the overhead light. As you do, you gasp in horror. There are rows and rows of hanging fluid bags, each filled with babies and children. What is this horror show? It's not what it looks like, a voice says from the other side of the room. A male doctor emerges and walks towards you. They're all brain dead. They've been bred to only grow bodies. They have no minds or consciousness. Why would you do this, you ask? We use them to grow new organs and save people, he continues. What we do here is grow organs to save lives without hurting or killing anyone. You must now make a decision. Do you leave and report him, or leave and stay silent? Where's the option to make him use the organs? Talk? Speak. Ask? Okay, let's just try stay. Okay, stay doesn't work. Stay silent. You leave the lab, but you stay silent. You don't even stick around the hospital to find out about the injured patients. You know at least they will receive their organs through the secret lab. It's better that the organs be grown in a way that doesn't hurt people in any way. The lab creatures have no brains, no thoughts, and no feelings. They're simply bags of organs being grown. There's no harm in the lab continuing, and only good can come of it as lives are saved. So many diseases will be cured, so many families will be preserved. Injured children will be able to live out their lives, but you can't help but feel haunted by the horrible sight of the lab, and sometimes you hesitate before reminding yourself that the creatures cannot be considered people. Score. The old man has been saved, and everyone on the bus has been saved. Millions of people are cured every year from the lab organs. Okay. Okay, so what haven't I done? I mean, I know I've skipped quite a lot of stuff. Okay, let's try phone. Maybe that's how I get my sister. You call 911 as the accident happens. The ambulance arrives a few minutes later. Because you called so quickly, the paramedics were able to arrive in time to save the people injured in the accident. They whisk them away in an ambulance to the local hospital. You ride with them, hoping you can be of some help. You arrive at the hospital and wait in the waiting room while the injured people are taken into the emergency room. Okay. I remember now. Okay. Man in an expensive suit. Excuse me for a minute, you say to the doctor. She goes back to the emergency room. You head to the corner of the waiting room and find the man in an expensive suit. He acts like he's expecting you. I overheard your dilemma. Your dilemma, he says to you, seemingly amused by the whole situation. I have a proposition. I have enough money and the means to buy enough organs to save every patient currently in this hospital. My contacts can have the organs delivered by tonight. The organs will all come from people who have already died, so no one will be harmed in the transaction, but in exchange, you have to give me oral sex right now. You're disgusted and appalled. Nothing seems worse to you at this moment than having any sexual contact with this man. But you do feel a responsibility to save all the injured people. You need to make a choice. Do you agree to his proposition or refuse? I'm gonna refuse. Because he just seems like a rich asshole who wants to fuck with me. He refuses offer. He's using money and his position to coerce you. It's hardly any different than if he held a gun to your head and made you perform... No, it's very different than if he had held a gun to my head and made me perform oral sex on him. It is really on the same level of violation as rape. No, it's not. You refuse to participate even if it means the deaths of innocent people. You will not participate in such an immoral and reprehensible experiment, but as you leave the hospital, you wonder if maybe you should have taken that personal sacrifice to save the injured patients. The bus driver's been saved, all the children and the old man have died. I think that's as far as I'm going. Wait, how do I get to my sister? Alright, well, I've tried a few commands, and I can't figure out how to get back down and meet my sister because South takes me back into the store. But yeah, I guess that's it for me. If you want to see any of the outcomes that I didn't do, the link to the game will be in the description. But until the next video, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you around. Bye.
Let's go.